Dear friends, we are happy to see you on Prime.info and present you our monthly news blog dedicated to the most significant events on global real estate markets and the latest immigration news. Today we are going to tell you about the state and contradictory prospects of property markets in Cyprus and Germany, and also the possible changes in the Greek Golden Visa. As we mentioned in our previous news blog, the Greek Golden Visa was more than just popular in 2023. Last year, the minimum investment amount for the property purchase option was raised from 250 to 500,000 euros in certain urban centers and islands that experienced residential pressure. This change was hoping to soften the interest in the program in a manner that would help to slow the rising prices of property sales and rentals in the Greek market. But this seems to have been not enough to manage the acute housing issue that has developed in recent years. Speaking at a debate on the housing crisis, the Prime Minister has announced his intentions to raise the minimum threshold for the Golden Visa program in urban centers and islands to 800,000 euros. He also noted that the 250,000 euro threshold will remain for areas with no residential pressure. In addition, the government is considering the possibility of obliging the participants of the Golden Visa program to enter only in long-term lease agreements rather than short-term ones. The problem of the Greek housing market has also been addressed in a recent study by Piraeus Bank, which found that there are currently 212,000 homes missing from the market because a large part of the existing ones are only available for short-term rental, thus leading to increased purchase and rental prices. The proposed new changes are just the next step to decline the interest in the program. Oh well, these are only proposals for now, but potential investors should definitely pay close attention to this issue and stay updated.
We proceed with the state and prospects of the Cypriot real estate market in 2024. According to the Cypriot real estate analytics firm AskWire, in 2023 the prices for apartments have increased by 8.8%. There has also been an increase of 11% for rental values. The indicators for house prices are even humbler. On the annual basis, they have increased by only 3% and their rental values by 8%. It is worth mentioning that the demand for short-term and long-term rental housing was constantly rising throughout 2023. So the property owners have catalyzed their activity as well. By late January 2024, there were more than 15,000 active short-term rental properties in Cyprus, and their number is constantly rising. Nicosia saw a 25% rise of such properties, followed by Limassol with 17, Larnaca with 9 and Paphos with 3. So, how should investors regard these numbers, and is it a real trigger for immediate actions? The local real estate experts say that the property market is still very active, even though it is changing at the moment. So if the investors choose the right property types in good locations, their purchases will definitely work for gaining rental income or profit on house price growth. The demand from rental housing is expected to be stable this year because there are many people who have relocated to Cyprus and they are living here constantly. They are looking for good rental options, and the statistics of the property market indicators for 2023 is rather contradictory. The prices and the numbers of sales were rising, and it seems to be quite positive. But this may also be a warning sign for investors that the market is overheated and is too late to pour in their capitals. And on the other hand, if the indicators are decreasing, can this be regarded as a signal for action as the prices are more budget-friendly? The risks are obvious when we are talking about the investments in Cyprus. The local market is very dependent on foreign demand from tourists and relocants. And what if it collapses? It is hard to predict if there will be interest from new buyers and tenants. The Cyprus government is well aware about the importance of the real estate sector and is fighting for the existing migration programs. They are preserving them and trying not to impose additional complications. The demand has been on the rise for the last couple of years, but it is obvious that most of the buyers have already completed their objectives. So we assume that the Cyprus real estate market in 2024 will be significantly less active than in 2023. This fact will calm down the prices and rental rates.
The situation on the German real estate market is negative when talking about the formal numbers. Some experts even tend to describe the situation as the worst crisis in a decade. Oh well, we would not be so emotional in our assessments, even though the numbers indicate the decrease in demand. And there is an obvious reason for that. The German residential investment market was greatly impacted by increasing financial costs, and Germans do not want to be engaged in mortgages with interest rates of about 4 to 5%. According to the latest research, investments in large residential portfolios across Germany fell by 60% compared to the previous year. The Association of German Banks, VDP, has revealed the negative price change for commercial properties. The reluctance to invest had emerged amidst the COVID pandemic back in 2021 and 2022. But the decrease wasn't essential, only about 1%. In the end of 2023, the correction was much more pronounced on the yearly basis, minus 12%. The office spaces suffered the most, and the problems of the segment began during the outrage of the COVID pandemic. The reason for weak demand and falling prices lies in the fact that people are still extremely reluctant to return to their working places. The retail segment is a bit more confident, even though the prices have decreased as well. The VDP experts do not expect the situation to reverse in 2024, and this may be the evidence in favor of potential investors.
Well, this is all for today. We continue to monitor the situation in real estate markets. Please keep an eye on our daily news on Prion.info and don't forget to follow us on Telegram. We are going to tell you about the wonderful investment options on the island of Paxos in the coming weeks. See you next month in our following news blog.